Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Claremorris, County Mayo. Can I firstly apologise that I'm not able to be with you myself this morning, and I have to say that I really regret it because I enjoy very much every opportunity that I get to go to County Mayo. Today you're going to have a very exciting conference, and may I congratulate the organisers, Údarás na Gaeltachta, for bringing together so many colleagues from different parts of Europe. I know that there are colleagues there from the United Kingdom, from the Netherlands, and indeed also well done to Enterprise Ireland for bringing in a trade delegation from the Netherlands for this event as well. The topic that's under discussion today is key for energy going forward to our future in Europe. Just a few words on that. Energy is central to the way we live. It's central to the way we live and to the way we work. But we need to be very clear as to the services that we get from energy. And effectively there are three. The first service that we get, and you're probably benefiting from it in the room this morning, is heating and cooling. This uses almost 50% of the energy that we use within the European Union. It is a key area in terms of our consumption. The next biggest area, at about 30%, is mobility, be it collective mobility or individual mobility that we each have, for example, in our cars or motorbikes, as the case may be. And the third service that we get from energy is power. This is power to turn on the lights, to work our computers, for our iPads, for our cookers at home, for the TV and other appliances that we use. And this represents about 25% of the energy that we consume. And I raise this because, in fact, we should look at energy from the perspective not so much of do we get it from oil or gas or renewables or whatever, but rather what does energy give to us and how can we ensure that those services are available to us in a competitively priced way, in a secure supply, and of course in a sustainable way. But the energy system in Europe is changing. It's changing in two important respects. Firstly, the market itself is changing, and secondly, the technology basis for our energy system is changing. In terms of the market, perhaps the most visible element that you can see today is the diversity of actors that are playing in the energy system. We have new entrants, both at the generation side, large-scale generation, particularly in the area of renewables, but also small-scale generation, something that has never really happened before. We have new players in the supply side, and you can see the diversity of suppliers in all of the member states and the opportunity that's available to switch between suppliers for the best deal that's available to you. But perhaps the biggest single change in the market is slowly but surely starting to emerge, and that is putting the consumer at the centre of the energy system in the European Union. And this starts with, firstly, consumers having information about all aspects of the energy system. And with that information, being in a position to decide for themselves how and how much energy they're going to use, and from that to control how much it's going to cost them. And then you can move further where consumers are now starting to play a role indeed in generating energy and, for example, selling it to the grid. And even the step further, not only generating the energy but using it themselves and to some extent becoming autonomous from the system. But this can't happen without the accompanying technological innovations coming to the market and facilitating this kind of change. And Europe is very much to the fore in terms of new technology coming on stream in the energy sector. Renewables, one might even say born in Europe, certainly brought to market in Europe and becoming almost commonplace in our energy system. And by their nature, allowing small-scale production using the newer technologies. New technologies, for example, in terms of how we manage our energy system. Peak reduction through demand response, for example, allowing the possibility to flatten the energy consumption curve to some extent and, as a consequence, save us money on our investments. And of course, we shouldn't forget the smart end, the consuming and user end, and the use of smart and intelligent systems to not only count electrons going into your home and on the basis of which you are billed, but counting electrons by the moment so that you can benefit from the best price at the point of delivery, and also management of your energy within your residence, for example, in terms of minimizing the cost to you in terms of your energy bills. All of this can only be delivered with the new technologies that are now coming on stream and that are essential to be rolled out. And of course, the linkage between all of this is the grid. The grid which we have in Europe is already very well established, but it needs to change, it needs to upgrade, and it needs to change its whole approach to energy, energy supply, energy distribution, and energy usage. And of course, this is where the smart grid comes in. We are no longer talking about large centralized production facilities pushing electrons down the cables and ultimately out through the distribution systems to the endpoints of industry and consumers. But rather, we're looking at a very dynamic grid system with power coming in certainly from the large production sites, but also coming in from localized generation, with effectively the power going up the cable and down the cable at the same time. And this means that we need to have a grid that is very resilient and that can benefit from the new technologies that have come on stream in order to deliver a stable and secure service to us as citizens. And in that context, the project, your great project, in every sense great, is exactly what we need right now. And supporting that, we need innovation. We need innovation to come from all of our entrepreneurs in Europe, because all ideas are useful and we will need to take them all on board in order to make this energy transition. Thank you.